Hello, hello. Welcome, guys, to Shining the Holy Ark. Let me turn this off so there don't be any echoing or anything like that. How are you all doing? It is quite a sad situation that we are in. Many celebrities, well, three of them passed away back to back to back to back. Optimus Prime, Dolly Parton, Tim Curry. It is kind of sad, and it does remind me of what my teacher said that people that famous people that kind of defined your generation, that kind of defined the era that you're in, that they will begin to go away, and then what's left, there really is, like, you know important people will just start to disappear, and and those that defined a generation or whatnot, they will just be gone, and that's it. Like, people come take over the place. He he was my French teacher. He will have like these philosophical things to talk about. I could probably sell some of this stuff. The first big one was Michael Jackson. Because even as a little kid, I knew who Michael Jackson was, his music. He was that popular, right? And then it just went on from there. Like, this celebrity passed away, then this celebrity, then this one, then this one. And it's like a never ending. This never ending thing that kind of strips away at what to define our era. When I was a little kid, I loved Transformers. Um, and I would watch it. It was a little bit before my time. Like most of the series was already aired, and I think I might have been like a year behind of a lot of stuff, but I would watch it because reruns and whatnot. And Optimus Prime was like the Transformer. That's the one you needed to have. Oh, let's see. And unfortunately, it, you know, it just went on from there. That slowly but surely, these people will go away. Tim Curry, he was in a lot of different cartoons, if I remember right. And I recognized him more for his roles in Animaniacs and stuff, and in Freakazoid. And sure enough, like, I didn't know he was involved in so many different things. I really didn't. Oh, let's see. Oh, maybe I could still sell some stuff. And Dolly Parton, like Dolly Parton was always around. She's always been referenced, in a lot of material, in a lot of like cartoons and TV shows, and she would show up on talk shows. Howard Stern, like they would interview her, and it's or yeah, kind of. And she was like always around, and then she's not. She's gone, and death just comes for us all at some point. Huh. Honestly, oh, it's crazy. It is really crazy. And I'm thinking, what other celebrities are gonna pass away soon? Um, you know, during the '90s, I did watch a lot of basketball or some basketball, and of course, there was Michael Jordan, but before him, it was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, David Robinson. These stars that I will look up to sometimes. Joe Montana, or Joe Montana's football, Jerry Rice. Oh, let's see. Damn. You know what? I think I should head back to huh. It's a little. It just makes me a little sad. My teacher, he brought up celebrities that he grew up with, and I didn't recognize anyone. I think Humphrey Bogart, what might have been the only celebrity I recognized, and that was because Bugs Bunny made fun of him in one of the Merry Melodies cartoons. But that's like going way back. It's Okay, that should be good. Now I'm gonna try something stupid. I'm gonna go see if I could get some mithril weapons. Huh. Oh, this makes it so much easier. I wonder if there's anything in that rock. Huh. Surprised I haven't gotten into a fight yet. Well, huh. It looks very heavy. You know, uh, I don't know what that was. Huh. I wonder if I should talk about more about sin and punishment. It that magazine. That this is why magazines were kind of pretty important for back in the day. Oh, a hedgehog or porcupine. I don't know what it is. Sin and punishment was got my attention through magazines, and no, it and it looked cool. Showed it showed me screenshots. It gave me a premise. It compared gameplay, and it had that pedigree of treasure. That 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 got my attention. It really did get my attention, and it was the one game that made me want to get a 64. Right? I don't want to discard anything. It. I'll look at it, right, and it's this great game, and I'm reading about it. I'm looking at the how the characters look, and it was very stylized, and it felt awesome. It was like, wow, wow, this is such a great game that I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. And hearing, and then reading and then reading about it, reading an interview with the president. It, you could tell that you could just tell that the interview. This was back when when game development studios, they were smaller. They you know that the you know the it was a little more intimate. You could talk to these people, and they'll give you like a you know their their direction, what their the beliefs in the game. Yes, I'm looking at every little thing in case I miss something. Nope. And and hearing him speak, you know, I know he's just selling the game, but mind you, the what that treasure pedigree, like I was like, well, these guys made this, Gunstar Heroes and Light Crusader and so on and so forth. So I'm thinking like the, you know, I, how can I not believe him? It'll be a great experience. And in my mind, like even though I was looking at pictures and it was, it's a forward scrolling or auto scrolling kind of game. Um, you know, the me comparing it to Panzer Dragoon came from what the editors were saying at and Gamers Republic. Gamers Republic. It's. Hold on, let's see. Oh. And after reading the article, and I saw like what other magazines were telling the game about, it really did feel like that game was gonna come stateside. Um, I was gonna graduate high school, and even in high school, I already planned that. You know what? I'm gonna have to get me a. I'm gonna have to get me a Nintendo 64 once I get like a job, and I'm gonna start like backtracking. Like I already had it in my mind. I was gonna start looking at retro game collecting because of like the impression that a lot of these magazines left on me. I these Jap these magazines definitely left an impression on me, and I wanted to play them. Okay. Anything here? And that was one of the things. Like I would continue to look at magazines and just kind of say, I wish I could play this. I wish I could play this. And sure enough, you know, once I got my job and started saving up and buying all these games, it one they were cheaper. Like like the Xbox and PS2 were already out, but those games were still fetching $50 a pop. I you know, and at the time, Nintendo 64 games, uh, PlayStation games, Super Nintendo, Genesis games, all this stuff was incredibly cheap at the time. Now, the honest, oh, like if a choice came between a $50 game or a $10 Super Nintendo game, I went with the $10 Super Nintendo game because you know because it's $10 and it was just the more logical choice at the time. Back to Sin and Punishment. It just it just looked very stylish, right? And if it was very stylish, very unique, and it had a treasure pedigree. And I remember like thinking, if I ever get a Nintendo 64, I'm gonna buy this game. You know, there was something there. Oh, Oh, more bats. Let's see. Yeah, I think I already checked all that. Huh. Let's see what's in here. I think I already checked these holes. Um, This is sort of a what the flow with these guys. I'm just trying to get to the. I should just ignore everything, but I feel like I'm missing some of those pixies. I really do. I gotta check everywhere. Fine, I'll discard one. Games really were cheap back then. It kind of saddens me that it's gotten so expensive now. Like, I got Sin and Punishment in box for like $60, and now it's fetching closer to 200. You know, I always tell people like if I ever come to a financial hardship, I could just sell a couple of my games and I'll be fine. I always keep them as a backup for something like that. Should I really check every tree? Let's get out of here. It. I think I also got into collecting older games because what my friends would always talk about. It, I remember like going to like my friend's house, and I already got that. Or like hearing my friends and hearing my friends like talk about the games that they have, and then looking at different magazines. It it's a And then finding those finding those games out in the wild. It was always a treat. Oh, okay. All right, screw it. Just my brother always like chastised me for playing older games. I remember when I went backwards from the GameCube back. The first Nintendo console I've ever owned was the Nintendo GameCube, and it was shortly after I got my job. Um, it was I think that was when it was at its second price cut, and there was a promotion going on that they would discount 10% off any new title that you buy with your that they will discount any 10% off any title that you may purchase with your GameCube. And in my case, it was Metal Gear Twin Snakes. Now, I let a friend of mine borrow Metal Gear, and he ruined it. Um, he he scratched up the disc. The first disc wouldn't boot anymore. He was a very careless individual. Oh no, wrong way. He was a very careless individual, and he scratched up my Metal Gear Solid game. But uh, so that's the one game I bought, and then like shortly thereafter, I started buying like Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Adventure 1, uh, Sonic Collection, like anything to do with Sonic. I ended up getting it on the GameCube. Sonic Gems Collection. All right, let's see. Okay. Maybe I should make a GameCube video. I wasn't heavily invested in it as some other people, but because it was Sonic's home for a while, like I gravitated to it, and I don't think I found that kid's dad in the. Anyway, I wasn't heavily invested in it as I was with my Xbox, but it did have a lot of great games on there. It's just that it didn't really have anything that stood out. I My favorite game on there though it was what's the name? Um yeah, my favorite game on there was the Metro Prime games, like first the first one, then the second one, and then F Zero. But F Zero was made by Sega, so I guess that's why I liked it. All the other F Zero, I remember someone let me borrow F Zero on the 64 to try to get me into it, and I just couldn't get into it. But when I played it on the Switch, I guess it was like, oh, it was good. Like, not on the Switch, on the GameCube. All right, let's. I've been all over that mansion. I didn't find any that kid's dad. I had nothing against the GameCube, but honestly, it did feel something like a betrayal when I got one. But at that point, the Dreamcast was like long dead. I'm pretty sure it was yeah, I got that at 2003. I want to say, yeah, with my so yeah, around um, April of 2003, I got a GameCube and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, and I started playing it. Like, oh wow, what really stuck out to me was the control, that the layout of the buttons and whatnot. It took a little while to get used to. I'm so used to like a cross configuration or square configuration on my controls, similar to either like a PlayStation or a GameCube or a Genesis control. But this was something different, so like it did take a while for me to get used to the button layout, but it was good. Um, a coworker of mine who was way into Zelda gave me his master or his Zelda collection thing. Really, Huh. All right. Well, it did raise my attack by 5. Although I think Melody needs I could sell something. Hold on, let me see. There we go. Huh. Ah, she doesn't need this. Talking about my brother, he really did chided me when, or said something, says stuff like why are you playing that? You have a. This is by the when I had my Xbox, right? You have the most powerful console like on Earth. Why are you playing why are you playing games like less than 100th the the ability or something like? Oh, oh, another. Hmm. Why are you playing this old stuff? And I'm like, because it's fun. Like retro gaming has such a unique feel. Like back then, the limitations of the consoles really forced people to figure out how to do things. Like everything you see on the ground is a background layer. The floor is a background layer. It's not an actual 3D environment. You know, the buildings and the wall, yeah, that's 3D, but the ground itself was used for a lot of effects. And I remember how amazed I was looking at the ground and Panzer Dragoon. I was like, look how far that goes. It just keeps on going. And that, looking at that there made me go like, wow, this is the most craziest thing ever. You're gonna make spend another day. it just amazes me somehow. It it like these retro games, they're made so to with the hardware in mind. They made it with the hardware in mind, and then like got it working. Okay, they got it working. That got all. It came out the way it was intended to come out. There we go. Should probably sell that. All right, let's get out. Oh, that didn't do anything. All right. All right. Really? I guess it still takes 2 hits for some of these guys. Going back to the GameCube, it wasn't my most favorite console of that generation. That would be the Xbox. But so I always gotta check everywhere. Didn't do anything. But it did have a lot of good games that I liked. Um, I bought Smash Bros. Melee on a Oh, I leveled up. It, however, it was also something of a failure for Nintendo. That guy doesn't scare me anymore. Oh, I see one hit and he's already gone. I like going back to old areas and just like decimating monsters that bother me, you know? They really want you to check everywhere, man. I kind of want to find another succubus. Nothing? Nothing. Look at that. Okay, well. Nothing. I should really try picking that one. I gotta tell you guys, when I started playing Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube, I was like, this is so damn weird. I bought that game new for like $13 on clearance at Target. Back then, Target would always put their games on clearance after about a while, and it was like a player's choice edition. Nothing. And when I saw Sega and I was holding that remote, I was like, oh my god, this is so surreal. You guys don't understand how surreal it was playing Sonic on a Nintendo console. Now that wasn't my first time playing Sonic on something other than Nintendo. The first time that happened was with Sonic Pocket Adventure on the Neo Geo Pocket. That wasn't too surreal because I guess it was a portable, and I guess it wasn't too bad. But let me tell you guys, it really did feel surreal when it came to the GameCube. Like, it felt incredibly surreal. Here I am holding basically a Nintendo forget it, a GameCube. No, I'm holding a Nintendo controller, a controller meant for a Nintendo console, and I'm controlling Sonic with it. and my mind's going like, wow, this is insane. Like this is not supposed to happen. It just things like that just don't happen. But it is. It was happening. I was playing. I think I already found what I was looking for here. But it was happening, and that just kind of solidified the fact that that was it. That you know, Sega doesn't have a Sega's not making any more systems. Nope, no siree, no more systems. And it just kind of bummed me out a little bit, just realizing that. Wow, this is the reality now. Sonic doesn't have a home of its own. You know, but that was one of the reasons I got a GameCube so I could continue playing Sonic. Now the downside was that there was no original. I thought that there were going to be original Sonic games on a GameCube, like a Sonic Adventure 3. I it you know that's what I was hoping for, like a Sonic Adventure 3 exclusively on the GameCube. Um, and that didn't happen. That didn't happen, but for a while I thought like, okay, Sonic Adventure 1, no, Sonic Adventure 2 came out. I guess they supposedly upgraded Sonic Adventure 1, and we're getting all these Sonic collections and stuff. I'm thinking we're gonna get original Sonic games on a GameCube, because at the time, Sega was doing the exclusive thing per console. Honestly, I think they should have just released all their stuff everywhere. But I'm guessing they just didn't have the R&D for that. Oh, let's see. Okay. And I have to say, it was disappointing that they didn't go beyond that. But interesting games did come out, like the Wind Waker and oh god, Wind Waker and Zelda and nothing. Wind Waker and stuff. I, you see, all the huggabaloo on why they didn't make wait, hold on. I already checked all the holes here, right? Like, to me, I'm not the biggest Zelda fan, right? Um, so when people were criticizing the art style of Wind Waker, I just didn't care. All right, well, it is what it is. Like, I don't know what. It's a game. Like, it's a Zelda game. you know, people talk about their memories of like Ocarina of Time and stuff like that. And it to me it just doesn't really bother me, or it doesn't really like, because I don't have that nostalgia. I have more of an objective look. Like, um, there's a lot. Oh, that open field. There's not a lot going on in that open field. You know, the dungeons seem great, but there's not a lot going on in that open field. I'll say things like that. They'll piss people off. Like, look, it's a Zelda game. Enjoy it. It's not, it's not my cup of tea. It really wasn't. You know. Okay, I think I should save. Not really my cup of tea. It's if you enjoyed it, great. I'm not gonna hold it against you. You know, the one I prefer Metroid. Honestly, I really do. Um, when the first Metroid I've ever played was the one on the Game Boy. Yeah, the Game Boy one, and I like the whole aspect of, like, I've already played Castlevania Symphony of the Night in that one, and yeah, I already played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So having that similar mechanics being portrayed on a portable really impressed me, and I couldn't wait to see what the big boys were doing. Right, I couldn't wait to see um, how how the Super Nintendo one came out, or how the one on the NES came out. Like, these are supposed to play the same, right? Let me go check these out. And through emulation, I tested them out. I was like, wow. After that, I went through the effort of doing it. Let's see. And he joins up again. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Man, you know, Metroid is probably the only Nintendo property that Yeah, Metro is the only Nintendo property that I like. Huh. Uh-oh. Jeez. Oh, really? All those attacks and it didn't take him down? Okay, let's heal ourselves a little bit. No? Oh. Well, let me see what. Jesus, really? You know, I always wondered, like, I think with the GameCube, Nintendo got a little cocky. And they were humbled a little bit. You could tell. That's when they knew they weren't top dog anymore. Okay. Took that many hits to kill that thing. It's a little unfair if you ask me. Oh wait, I think I know what this is. I thought this thing would make me go up. Nothing. That's not good. Yeah, some fire right back at you. Man, getting that GameCube though, I don't regret it just because of what it had to offer. I bought a lot of those accessories pretty early, but some of it I didn't even use until much later. Like I got like there were things I wanted to buy. Um, the Ethernet adapter. I wanted to play Fantasy Star. Yeah, I wanted to play Fantasy Star Online, right? I didn't get a chance to play it on the. I didn't get a chance to play it on the Dreamcast. And you know, I guess this is something of a puzzle. Jeez, how do I get there? Hold on, let's see. How do I get to? It's very confusing, guys. Ouch. That's not fair. Okay, let's see. I might as well use magic for this. see. Come on. The one thing I was trying to avoid. He's dead? Ah, damn it. I don't know how much this is going to cost me. Jesus. I guess because he doesn't have any of those spirits, he can't really die. Alright, it's fine. Oh, jeez. I wonder what the GameCube was the last time that Nintendo tried to match the competition power to power. It, I saw what it had. It definitely could compete with the likes of the Xbox, but Microsoft and Sony had so much money they could just like outspend Nintendo in marketing and things like that. I'll be honest, I do not remember seeing that many GameCube commercials on TV. I remember seeing a lot of Xbox and PS2 commercials, Jack and Daxter and Halo and such, but anything else? No, man. It was all. I'll be honest, man. It was all like, I, I hardly saw any. I hardly saw any. I hardly saw any GameCube commercials, and they had good games. It's just that I it also plays to the fact that the actual gaming audience was changing. It gone were the days where something unique would show up that would be different from anything else on the market. Um, what what was Sony trying to do? They were trying to make a Halo killer. Killzone came out. It it's okay, you know. It's not the Halo killer they wanted, but it is a sign of things were changing, um, and I think Nintendo was trying to play an old game when the game changed, the rules changed, and you know I should probably save it. I'm going to save it one more time. The rules changed, and you know Nintendo's policies and stuff, they weren't working anymore. You know, Microsoft could afford to take a cut on royalties if it guaranteed them their game. I'm gonna pour myself a drink, guys. Give me a sec. Ugh. I'm not really pouring myself a drink. I'm just getting a drink out of the. All right. Here we go. Oh. Oh, that tastes horrible. Just having a light snack. Oh man, that ice puzzle is gonna be a drag. I started getting flashbacks of the ice puzzle in Mario Monogatari Sorcery Saga 1. Figured as much. I wonder if I have to fall in a specific hole. Okay. Alright, that looks kind of crazy, don't you think? I wonder if this is a boss. It's not doing anything special, it just looks pretty badass. Whoa. Let's see. Possessions. Use. Oh, Izuna drop. What's over here? Oh man, a pit. Oh wow, not much, huh? Let me finish exploring. Oh, again. Yep. That's an asshole move, Snake. Whoops, wrong spot. I guess I don't have a choice in the matter. Let's see. Pretty ingenious way of progressing through a dungeon crawler like this. Venom zombie. You know, when I first got it, talking about, you know, the GameCube was my first Nintendo console, and instantly, I knew it was, in the beginning at least, it felt different from what Nintendo was doing before. It wasn't. Of course, a dog would be barking, because why not? Nothing. You had things like Metal Gear and Eternal Darkness and Metro Prime looked very different. So in my mind, I'm like, it looks like Nintendo wasn't ignoring the older audience. It was trying to do something different, but it wasn't ignoring them. And after playing the Xbox and seeing what the PS2 is doing, I felt like the type of gamer that was coming up and about, they were being a little more fickle, right? And I was a part of that crowd too, because, Halo LAN parties at work and stuff, And it just seemed, I was playing Halo and stuff and getting invested in these new games. But in the end of the day, there's just some games that are very unique that won't cater to the masses. What I'm playing right now is one of them. I'm probably gonna have to buy Tokyo Clan Pool on PC at some point. I'm so thankful for this map. Let me see if there's anything in that corner. No, I should see. Oh, another succubus. I know I've... Oh, that's cute. Alright. I'm gonna have to go all out. Too many monsters. Then, and I didn't want to miss out. Like, I had a disposable income now, and with Metal Gear and Eternal Darkness, it was showing that and Metroid, I was like, this is gonna be. I really felt like the GameCube was gonna be a pretty good contender. And I was happy for the games that, like, I would never call the 60 I never call the GameCube a failure. Did it sell as much as the Xbox or PS2? No, but it had its own games that are very unique, and I'm happy to be playing them. Like F-Zero, that was a really fun game. Still have to finish the story mode. I think what it did like is some RPGs. Battles Kaiten was pretty good. But I think I needed more. Wait, was I here? Hmm. Neat. Great. How could we do on some of these guys? Just wail on them. Uh-oh. Hmm. Awesome. I should have healed her before. Oh no. Damn. Actually, just use. What am I doing? Just. There's a reason why you have this. I have a lot of leprechauns. I feel like this snake is gonna get more desperate, so it's better to be at max healing while I'm at it, you know. Alright, Rhodey be fine. Ooh, it's badass. Yeah, go away. Get out of here. You know, it, oh man, I forgot. I forgot I was talking about the stuff I got back in the day. I want to, yeah, around the mid 2000s when I got the GameCube. I wanted to play Fantasy Star Online, and I decided to get an Ethernet cable, the Ethernet adapter, and then I never used it. I bought it, but it was around the same time that Halo 2 came out, and with everyone at work, um, like playing Halo, that's what I naturally gravitated to. Like, well, I'll just play Halo, and I figure at some point I would I would get it. Like at some point I would get Fantasy Star, but then what occurred is that they shut down the servers. They shut down the servers to another one. They shut down the servers to Fantasy Star Online, and you know, to me it was a little difficult because it was one of those games that you needed to commit to. That you needed to let's see. Yeah, probably gonna end up falling through here. Let's see it. Anything there? No. and you had to pay money for. So I was like, I'll get to it at some point, and I just never got around to it. Right, I didn't even have the game. Like I'll go look for it or somewhere, and then like it just never happened. Like literally, it never happened. So I was stuck with that, and I bought this thing like through the Nintendo website. I to Nintendo's own website. There were like some accessories that you couldn't find out in retail. You actually had to um, order it directly from Nintendo. You know, such as that, uh, the and such as that, and in the component cables. But I bought all this stuff preparing for like the future, and the only thing I've ever used was the actual component cables when we upgraded a television. But that was it. I was like, wow, that we. Wow, I have this stuff and it doesn't even like. You know, I'm not even using it. You know, but at some point, I I did like I did end up using it because they brought the servers back, and you know the stack. I don't know how to pronounce it, but those servers they brought them back. Oh, I already looked there. What's this? I know I'm missing some. Great. Ugh. Just ended it like that. Quiet you. Oh man. Huh. They knew right away. You know, those ghosts are always going after Arthur like that. It looks like I'm missing like one leprechaun in the beginning, but who knows where it is. I got three pixies, three fairies, two succubuses, four incubuses, and five leprechauns. Oh, really? You know, I came close to selling my that's near the end. my network adapter for the GameCube after the thing. This was how strange it was. I came close to selling the network adapter after they shut down the Phantasy Star Online servers. And and you know, I was talking to a couple of local mom and pop stores to see if they would take that, but they um they didn't, like, they wouldn't, they weren't willing to give me a good amount of money. They were like, yeah, there's like, besides Kart Dash, I don't think anyone's gonna wanna buy this, or wanna purchase one of these. It's like, oh great. So I just held on to it, and then, like, I don't know, some point after a while, they just like showed up, like the fan server started to pop up, and you know, that was my opportunity to actually contribute, to actually play that game. Um, Now I did get a chance to play it a little bit on the original Xbox when I got Xbox Live. However, I was already paying Xbox Live and then I was paying for like a license, and I was like, I don't think I could do that, because, but you know, I didn't think I would need to get a hunter's license. I sure leveled up some. Okay. Oh no. To me personally, that generation of systems was probably the the best for me. The it, it saw the end of the Dreamcast. It also saw the start of the Xbox brand, and it really was. It was a time before things got standard. Like before, like it became a little more industrial and and it was still when games were trying to be um have oh really ow 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 is it still alive? Ah, great. Sorry, this guy is getting kind of intense. I wish I had a magic that could heal everyone. anything anymore. Uh, I was hoping that will slow it down somewhat. Alright, just burn them. Burn them! Oh, come on. Oh, Jesus. It's a tough fight, but not overly impossible. You just have to be on your toes somewhat. All that time getting lost in the mansion definitely helped with leveling me up. I'm gonna go all out. Ah, ninjas! Oh, I love ninjas! Okay, you know what? It's great that I'm here and all, but I really would like to save now. And that was something random that I just did. Okay, guys, this is where I'm gonna end it. I'm surprised I lasted as long as I did. But this is great. I did good. I defeated the monster. And now, well, and now I'm in a ninja village here to continue the game. But maybe later, because I have to get ready to do some stuff. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Talking about GameCube, talking about the 64.
Sonic.
Nintendo wasn't really my thing. I didn't get into Nintendo till after the Dreamcast, and I went backwards. I got a GameCube from my first paycheck, from my first working paycheck, I got a GameCube with it and got yelled at by my dad like just wasting money like that. But that's what I did, and I got Metal Gear with it, and I was happy with it. And then like retro gaming back then was really cheap. You know, I got followed by a 64. Then I got a Super Nintendo. Then my friend that was moving away gave me his old NES. They didn't want anymore. And buying games for all those consoles was extremely cheap, and I couldn't. It was hard to say no to very cheap games. Now it's like, ugh. Now I hear that 360 and PS3 games are starting to go up in price. Like, damn, didn't they make millions more copies of certain games? But I digress. It is what it is. It's a repeated pattern. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching my stream. All three of you. Someone's just lurking, huh? But it's getting too hot. I gotta get out of here, guys. I'll try to stream tomorrow if possible. And if not, then we'll see. We'll see. Peace out, guys. Take care.